Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's newscast for November 9th. Today we're talking Pokemon, James Dean, Batman casting, some ending BlizzCon news, and of course, always extra stuff. Stay tuned! Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for November 9th. I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
I'm Graham. Back from the dead.
Yes! A week late, but he's here. Welcome, peoples. We're going to talk about some game news, some movie news, some other stuff if Graham's pulled it up and knows what he's talking about. I'm not sure if he does. Did you find anything? No. All right.
I guess I could, like...
There's no Warhammer type stuff.
Backtrack.
That's it. So the last 4 years...
What has happened?
So either way, there was some Pokemon announcements at the beginning of the week, and we'll start with that one because, you know, Brian's ready to hop mad about it. So,
Oh, yeah.
essentially, here's a picture
right.
for you, those who don't know. The guys in white have been cut from the game.
Yes.
Right.
So the new Sword and Shield.
Yes, they've the Pokedex leaked. So we understand now how many Pokemon have been cut, and it is over half of the Pokedex is gone.
Yes.
Including Bulbasaur's evolutionary line, Squirtle's evolutionary line.
Wait, so the first one's there?
Yeah.
Charmander's in.
Charmander's still in because...
Charizard's getting a new evolution.
Yeah, and
game.
everyone loves Charizard.
Everybody loves bloody Charizard.
But
the
Squirtle's there with no evolution.
Nope, so there's no Squirtle. There's
Yeah,
no Bulbasaur.
Squirtle, no
Oh,
Bulbasaur.
I thought you meant like Squirtle's still in
So
it,
his
but there's
line's-
no
his
War
line's
Turtle
done.
or... Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
Nidorann's out.
Nidorann's
Rattatas out. Sandshrew.
Weedle, Pidgey. So again, this is like you can't even transfer them into the game.
No,
once you
you
finish
cannot.
the game. It's not that you can only catch the green
Oh,
ones.
like they're not even like...
They're not even programmed into the game.
Yeah.
They're not even built.
Holy shit.
I know. When their motto is,
Gotta catch them.
gotta catch them all. You cannot gotta catch them all.
Yeah. So that is the big piece. We knew there was a cut coming because the Pokemon company's like, we're working on animations and this and that and everything, so there's going to be some cuts.
There's like 500 of these little bastards.
There's over 800 now.
There's a ton.
So they've cut over half of them. So there were and they're like, well, there's got to be some trimming, and everybody's like, okay, like they'll get rid of Weedle
Yeah.
and Rattata and people, and it's like, and again,
Yeah.
you can still be upset about that because it's Pokemon. The whole thing is
Yeah.
play with your Pokemon, right? Like choose your guys. So I get like it's like people are gonna be upset, and you're like, okay, but they're gonna cut guys no one ever uses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have
They're
now
gonna make,
cut
like...
So many.
so many things that people use. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said the reasoning for this was because they wanted to sway the meta of what people used as Pokemon. They wanted to use the
like
different
it's-
Pokemon than the standard.
but they've done that before. So
Yeah.
the game usually goes, you can catch these Pokemon, and then once you beat the game, you take your Pokemon from the Pokebank and transfer them in. So you couldn't transfer them in until you beat the game.
Oh, okay. So
So
you
it's
couldn't,
not like
you couldn't
you-
break the game.
Yeah, it's not like you
by-
can just like, oh, my level 100 Blastoise is now in my party.
Yeah.
At
And-
level 5.
Right, and just tear through the game. You have
Yeah.
to beat the game first. Then you can bring all your pro Pokemon back and play through like the post game or do whatever else you want, like just dick around.
Well, this is on the
This is now on the Switch.
They could just like patch it
They're
in
not going to.
later.
They've already said they're
Yeah.
like it's every time someone's like, well, maybe they'll just like start patching them in slowly.
Yeah.
That's false hope.
No,
Yeah.
the Pokemon company's like, no, they might be in the next game. And it's like, and so my biggest thing about this, and it has been since the beginning, is my 3DS could handle all 800 of them. Why can't my Switch?
Yeah. And can't they just like lazy man patch them in too?
Well, that's and then it,
Like
and again, the Pokemon Company and the Creature Incorporated or whatever they're called, ages ago was like, we've made our Pokemon so that they scale to like,
Whatever you need them to be.
you know,
Yeah.
they're at 16K already.
Oh, yeah.
We just scale them down for whatever we need. So everybody's
it's like
so
Pokemon
the
Go or
right.
whatever, right?
But they're like, so the models are there.
Yeah. You just need to.
You're just not using them, and they're like, no, because we have to add new animations. So everybody's like, cool. So the battles are actually going to look like
Battles.
battles. No, still the same
It's
thing.
still the same.
The bunny does a little hop, and then a foot appears on the other enemy, and it was like that was
So
a low
just
kick.
just plop them in there with like the default animation.
Well, so
and
then-
just be like,
And then, like that's the best part. Is like, oh, that's a lot of programming to like stats and this and everything.
yeah, that's numbers.
Someone, of course, because the internet is the internet, broke into the Let's Go game on the Switch.
Oh my God! So someone's.
All of the data for all of the Pokemon that are there.
Oh my God!
So the guy,
So somebody
broke-
already broke in
guy-
and went,
but he-
I can copy and paste
well,
it.
so he broke the Switch game,
Yeah.
and he couldn't because the models aren't there. There's no
Yeah.
models in the game because
Yeah.
they wanted to make it a smaller game. So the models aren't there, but we already know they're built because the Pokemon Company has told us they've been built
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, let's just see what happens. So he changed like Poliwag stats to one of the legendaries from one of the newer games.
Yeah.
So not even the 150 that are supposed to be in that game. It goes all the way to 7 whatever.
Yeah.
So he replaced Poliwag, and all of a sudden Poliwag's got the powers of one of the legendaries from.
Oh, so he just like reskinned
Well,
with a
so-
Poliwag,
yeah.
basically.
So like he took Poliwag
yeah.
and he changed the Poliwag number so that it took the stats from Ho-Ho or something, who's not in the game, and was like,
Oh,
well, now
so-
he can fly and do this and do that, like, and it called him Ho-Ho and it, like the whole 9 yards, and he's like, so all the numbers are still like they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's ready.
The balancing is done because it's from the last game that
Yeah.
came out. Like everything is there. You legitimately just have to take the models and go.
Yeah. So they basically proved they could copy and paste, and then
Pretty much. And then again, like the new thing for this one is Gigantamaxing.
oh yeah, the
They
weird
go,
yeah.
they
big.
turn into
Yeah.
kaiju essentially.
yeah.
And it's like, well, that's what we were like. Again, people are like, well, that's what they were spending their time on, animating these, giant monsters. And it's like, but again, you don't have to make a big model. You have to make all the other models shrink,
because they've already built the big models technically.
and then
Yeah.
just have the other model there.
how.
So again, like everything they keep coming out with, and that's my biggest piece with all of this, on my opinion of it, is
They
it
just have a really lame excuse.
every
Yeah,
time.
Every time.
Every time.
Well, and then they pissed off some people because someone in Japan tweeted a picture at the director of the game, and she got her nails done as like bay leaf,
Oh.
like one of the starter, like not original obviously, but one of the starter Pokemon, and she's like getting ready for Sword and Shield, like with
And
my
it's
new
not
bay
even-
leaf things, and the director replied back, and he's like, "Oh, thanks." And everybody got pissed at him, going like, "You should have replied like, oh, that's awesome, but like just remember, like Bayleaf's not in it, like."
Oh yeah.
Like, don't get a person's hopes up by saying, like, oh, thanks, that's awesome, or whatever, because
Yeah.
this person's going to play the game and not be able to
Use Bayleaf.
Yeah.
use Bayleaf. And that's the other piece is, Pokebank is a thing.
Yeah, they actually have that resource too.
Well, so it's there.
Yeah.
Like, I have Pokemon in a Pokebank.
Yeah.
They're moving the Pokebank. So the Pokebank is a service.
Yeah.
It's now going to become Pokemon Home.
Okay.
So there's Pokemon Home, and then there's like a little cable that connects to Pokebank.
Yeah.
Once you move your Pokemon to Pokemon Home, because that's
Yeah.
what it's supposed to transition you over,
Yeah.
they're stuck there.
Oh.
So you can move them from there to Sword and Shield
Yeah.
if they're on that list.
Oh.
If they're not, they're stuck.
They can't go back to
They
Pokemon.
cannot go back
Oh.
to Sword. Like, they can't go back to Sun and Moon. They
Yeah.
can't go back to any of the other games with the
Oh,
Pokebanks.
so once you've moved them past the threshold, it's
Yep. There's no going
and
back
they're
to the Pokebank.
they're
and then
just
back
trapped
to the other
in
games.
home until
Yes, they're trapped
the-
somewhere on your now subscription serviced
until another Pokemon game comes out
that
they
hopefully
can
they're
has,
in.
oh my god.
They've imprisoned your Pokemon.
Yeah, they're holding them hostage. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
Great.
awesome.
It's awesome.
And it's not even like Pokemon Company is like one of those evil gaming companies where they're like
Well, no, and like this
like
is
that's the other
that's the
sad
thing,
part is you
yeah.
can be like malicious about it and be like, oh, let's just charge them for it.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're not even
We're
gonna
not
give you
doing
that.
it.
This is
No.
not even that an option
No.
either.
they're just idiots. And I get part of it is like they have to release the game in time with the show.
Yeah.
Because every piece of Pokemon has to come out, you know.
Oh, there's a schedule.
There's a schedule, but that's
Yeah.
everybody's like, well, then keep patching it.
Yeah.
It's the easiest solution. They're like,
my
we
God.
get it. Your game has to come out here
This-
to match the anime, to match all of the merch that comes out.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
completely understand. But 2 months in,
Yeah.
if a patch comes out that's like, now all of your Pokemon friends can join the game,
Yeah.
everybody's happy.
Everyone's happy. Yeah. I get my Sandshrew.
I'm sure
Brian gets his Sandshrew.
this is a little conspiratorial of me, but maybe this is just a publicity stunt.
And
We can't put them in. And then they're heroes.
we
2
figured
months.
it out.
And then their advertisement will be like, gotta catch them all.
Because I mean,
but-
the fact that we're talking about it just, you know.
Oh yeah, but that's and again that's the well that's even Warp Zone, one of the YouTube guys.
Oh, yeah.
They did a short on Spider-Man where he goes into like the CEO of Disney's office and he's like, really, like we got to work this out. And he's like, yeah, I'll get. You know what? He's like, you've convinced me. I'll get on the phone with Fox, and he's like, or Sony, and it's like, when? And he's like, 6 months ago. We've been orchestrating this like since the last movie, sort of thing, because you know now we've built up publicity.
Yeah.
Mm.
And everybody's gonna like, oh, who's the bad guy? Who's the bad guy? These guys are the bad guy. Those guys are the bad guy. And then when we announce that we're gonna do a movie, win, win, win,
Win. Everyone wins.
and everybody's happy again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, score. Sometimes it works out in your favor. Like Sonic the Hedgehog, that trailer came out and everybody complained so hard about what Sonic looked like, and they're like,
we gotta change this.
So now there's all the leaked footage of like what they're changing Sonic to, and they've
Yeah.
essentially done what everybody told them to do and took the video game Sonic the Hedgehog and gave him real fur.
Yeah.
So he looks
great.
like
that's
Sonic,
cool. Yeah.
and everybody's like, yes, like this is what we need. And again, it's that piece of like, now I might go see this film.
Yes.
Just because you put the effort in to
Exactly.
fix that.
I don't know. I feel like we missed
Oh, it's still
out.
gonna be junk.
Oh, I know. I feel like we missed out on like a masterpiece of memes.
Oh,
by
we did.
changing-
Don't worry, there's still like every once in a while, like Walmart still had the Halloween costumes.
Oh,
'cause
yes.
they got produced and shipped before
anything. Yeah.
So like Walmart was getting in these horrendously scary costumes. I think one of the other like restaurants was getting the toys in,
Yeah.
and had to like send some of them back, but some of them got out into the like there. It was nightmare fuel.
Yeah. We just missed out.
We did. That'll be
Should
the
all been quiet.
It'll be
and
the
just
director's cut.
Yeah.
Just let that come out.
We'll get it just as a director's cut of some kind. But yeah, so I don't understand the Pokemon thing. And that's the piece. If they do come out and say, hey, they're all in, everybody's going to be like, great, cool.
Great. I'll buy this game now.
I will
Oh,
not
yeah,
buy this game.
yeah.
But at this point, there are so many people who are like, I'm buying it used because they still want to play it. But they're like, if I buy it used, Nintendo and Pokemon Company don't see any of my cash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's the I'm waiting for reviews. There's the like, there's all of those, and I'm just like, I was excited for 2 seconds when we first saw that trailer, and then little things just kept getting pointed out, and you're going,
Oh yeah.
they just don't care, and it sucks
no,
because
they
it's
don't.
it's the first console
Yeah.
Pokemon
Pokemon,
game,
yeah.
like mainline game.
Since.
Put Breath of the Wild effort into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like as much as I kind of complain about Breath of the Wild,
Which brings me to my next thing. I'm worried about Breath of the Wild too because it seems like they're rushing that out.
no, they have the engine built.
Yeah.
So
It's
they
way
can-
easier once the engine's built.
But I want like solid dungeons and I want time with like real dungeons, not like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but Breath of the
dungeons.
Wild did so well. We're getting Breath of the Wild dungeons. Like that's just the.
That's the reality of
But games can be built faster once the engine's built. Like that's the
True.
piece. It's like Majora's Mask. It doesn't take as long because
60. The
Everything's
Ocarina of
already
Time
there.
is already. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Pokemon on the 3DS, staying on the 3DS, easy peasy.
Easy.
It should be the same engine.
Mm.
Moving to the Switch,
Brand new.
really should be the same engine. It's still the same
This
game.
is still the same game.
It's Pokemon. I don't know. It's someone made a good point today. It's the yearly releases of Pokemon that are also killing them.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Like we've
It's-
had
yeah.
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Let's Go Eevee Pikachu, and now we're getting this one. And
one.
before that, we had Sun and Moon. Like it's
Yeah.
Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, Let's Go
Let's
Pikachu,
Go.
Eevee, and then
Yeah.
now Sword and Shield. And it's like, so next year we're getting.
It's like almost like the whole Star Wars thing, right? Where now Star Wars is going on a hiatus after this last one because they've been pumping out so many Star Wars. There's
Yeah, they say that
There's
till the
becoming
Mandalorian
apathy.
rushes,
yeah.
which it will. because
It
Jon
will,
Favreau
yes.
is doing, you know,
I'm looking so much.
show running of the, you know, a Mandalorian story.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's not. I don't feel like there's fatigue. I feel like there's fatigue when you do stupid things.
Yes. Yeah.
They released Last Jedi, which was lukewarm in reception. Again, I enjoyed it.
Pun.
Luke. But then the movie that followed up was again Solo, where they took the iconic role that Harrison Ford did and gave it to someone new, and then changed directors partway through a movie. And it's like
it's not the
it's not the fatigue.
It's not the fatigue. It's the get your shit together.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're gonna
there's-
crank these out one a year, at least be like
Try.
functioning.
Right,
at
like
it.
that's why there's how many Marvel movies that come out in a year
That's true. That's
that
true.
cross $1 billion or $1 million or whatever. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
they're easy. It's like here's our cast. Just throw a director at it.
yeah.
Write a script. Boom. Go.
But again, Kevin Feige
Clean
sits
and
there.
easy.
Kevin Feige
Yeah.
sits there to make sure that what's the story? No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's gonna it's gonna tank.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's
An
Like-
overseer that says like, that's
Not
okay.
like a-
That's
a-
not okay.
Well, but Kathleen Kennedy's supposed to be doing that at Star Wars.
Oh.
But to get the one guy on to write Force Awakens,
Yeah.
he was like, well, I want to do my young Solo movie that I've always wanted to do. And they're like, okay. Like, the guy who wrote Empire came back to write,
Oh.
yeah.
but he only did because they promised him a young Solo movie. And I'm like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I always think this, like, Harrison Ford is one of those actors you just can't replace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Bill Murray. Like, there's those actors that you just...
Yeah. Yeah. There's no like younger
No.
version of them you can
No.
just make.
Because they have mannerisms and
And just,
But it
there's
was-
this, like, je ne sais quoi swagger to Harrison Ford
Yeah.
yes.
that you can try and copy.
Mm.
Like, they got people in to show that guy how to stand.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you're like, but it's
It's not the
Harrison
same.
Ford
It's
can't
natural.
be Harrison Ford anymore.
He can. It depends on, like,
Like, if you can
Indy
get- if
was a
you-
horrible example.
If you can get him like motivated and
Yeah.
inspired,
Yes, yes.
instead of just like, and here's the script. And he
Well,
just,
but that's why I'm
like-
excited for, like, even the next Indiana Jones movie
Mm.
that they're talking about. There's cuts of Indy 4 that are good
Mm.
because he loves that character.
Yeah, like he'll.
And then he
Yeah.
crushed Han Solo in Force Awakens
Yeah.
because he was getting the death he always wanted.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So he knew that was coming, so he's
Yeah.
like, this is my, like, I'm putting it all in now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Even in Secret Life of Pets 2, he's a farm dog, and I'm like, oh, Harrison Ford. You're an animated dog, and you're
He
still
comes
being
through,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford. You know, you're just like, oh, man. That's why when they're doing that it's the young Solo movie, and again, Solo is, like, my guy in those
Yeah.
flicks. I could give a shit about Jedis. Legit, the scoundrel character is
Yeah.
my guy.
Your
It's,
guy.
it's a space adventure, and that's
Like Firefly almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's been whole other series
based on Han
that
Solo
yeah,
character.
character. Yeah.
But again, like, Nathan Fillion goes for Han Solo, but doesn't do
But
Han
doesn't,
Solo
yes.
in Firefly. Like, he's a different
Yeah.
character. 'Cause
Yeah.
but you can't do Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So that's that's the thing. That was the problem with Star Wars. It wasn't oversaturation of Star Wars. It was really crap quality stuff coming out.
Poor
of-
quality, yeah.
Or again, you have the movie that came out, which was The Force Awakens, where everybody's like, okay, that was just A New Hope
A New
again.
Hope again.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I understand it, because then J.J. Abrams even said it, like, we needed a palate cleanser.
Mm. Yeah.
So I did it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Kills Han Solo, so throws in that twist where
Yeah.
you're at the end of the movie going,
Han.
holy smokes. Like, they killed off one of the original three. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Chewie's all pissed, and you're like, oh, Wookiee's going to tear some arms off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we're introduced to these new characters. Yes, the Jedi chick is powerful because she's a Jedi. Like, everybody, she's a Mary Sue. Correct. So was Luke. Like, sorry, that's how action movies work.
Yeah.
You know.
True. Yeah.
So that's the piece. We got the palate cleanser, and then people were mad about that one. So it's like, Rian Johnson, do your own thing.
Yeah, so
Then
they-
people were mad because he did his own thing.
He did too much of his own thing.
And again, gave us a wicked scene where they destroy a ship by blasting into it at light speed.
Yeah, I thought that was a great scene.
And again, people are pissed. You can't. Why wouldn't you just be launching ships into ships?
Because that's expensive.
So, on top of that, see, that's why we have the auto mod.
Yeah.
So they actually talk about it in a new novel, because there's all of these. If you watch the last trailer for The Last Jedi,
Oh yeah.
there's all these starships from like episode 1, 2, which are like way in the past now. If you think about it, you're like, how are these cruisers still even fly? Like that would be like us driving classic cars around all the time.
Yeah.
For, like just that. Oh, it's my regular car. Yeah. You know, so they're like that would be like flying that. Apparently, in this novel, after Crate happened, the Resistance went onto a planet where they were building ships, and thanks for the follow, man. That's great. Even though we don't let you talk. So they go to this planet, and apparently that's where the First Order's building ships. Like they've activated all of these old ship factories.
Oh, so it's
they're new ships, but they're built like they're just trying. It's numbers that they're aiming for. Like they just want ships, and maybe they want a ton of ships to start light speed. Driving the
Yes, light speed missiles.
We've got a plan
the
now.
Resistance is sounding more and more like a terrorist
Well, no,
organization.
I know, right?
The First Order's mass producing them. The Resistance moves in and goes okay, we got to make it off this planet. One, stop their supply line. Well, we're at it. We might as well steal some ships.
Yeah.
So that's why we're gonna get the Millennium Falcon flying around with possibly Naboo fighters and all of these other kinds of ships, because these supply lines just started.
And the key is, as long as they give that throwaway line to explain it, that's all we need.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
It's they don't need to. And I think that's what people get angry about, is that there isn't these just brief little.
Good thing we stole these ships from
it's just
Yes.
Yeah, just give a quick little, and then the internet will shut up.
Well, and again, that's where Marvel, as much as people, Scorsese's now come out, because it's now it's Marvel's not cinema because they're too easy. There's no risk, and it's there doesn't have to be risk. I'm going to an action movie.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, with Terminator and all of that stuff.
Yeah. There's no risk there.
There's no risk. Your robot fights other robot.
Yeah.
Explosions. One-liner. More explosions. Gunfire. Done. Movie made.
Yeah.
So there was no risk. That's the point. So you got a guy like James Cameron making a no-risk movie.
Yeah.
And now they can't even do Rambo right.
No.
Or Terminator right, according to some people at this table.
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but
Well, Terminator has the time travel problem.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, either way.
Pokemon.
We will going into weird movie things.
Yes.
A good segue.
They're
making a Vietnam War flick with James Dean,
who passed away in 1955
at the age of 20.
Yes.
This is going to be our first CG created.
Oh my god!
Bringing
I think
an actor back from the dead.
Yes. So his family has said that they are supportive of this.
Sure, they are, because they're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be supportive of my dead
I'm
relatives
supportive of this.
making
blockbusters.
Yeah,
here's the pieces. It's not like it's James Dean's kids. It's probably grandkids by this point.
Or
yeah.
Who are being I didn't know him. He died at 20, of course.
Yeah.
Give me money. I give no hoots.
Are they his kids? Because did he have kids?
He must have had some kind of.
Or I wonder if they're distant cousins.
There's whoever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
They're people that obviously don't care.
Don't care. Yes.
Yeah.
They care about the money that they're going to get.
Going back to Star Wars, you have Billy Lord, who's
Yeah.
making sure that Carrie Fisher, everything is solid. We're not CGIing Carrie Fisher into this movie. We're using anything that was already filmed.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Stand-ins, if you need to.
Oh yeah, here's the back of
the
her
backside
head.
of her head.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Because they even they did that a little bit with even Heath Ledger, didn't they? There was weird little stand-ins even in Dark
There's
Knight,
always
wasn't there?
there's always stand-ins for crap.
Oh yeah.
But that's the, that's an entire career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand here.
Okay.
No. You're not allowed to talk.
Oh,
You just stand.
you just stand.
We have a voice actor to do that for you.
Yeah, the actor.
You just kind of look like him, so we'll just.
But some of them even don't. Like
Oh.
it's
Oh, yeah,
hilarious
yeah.
where it's just like we have the same skin complexion and height.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Billy Lord's so protective of Carrie Fisher and what
Yeah.
happens there. Like people are talking. She's the keeper of Princess Leia now.
Yeah.
She's not gonna let stuff
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Whereas again, ages down the road, we had Tarkin in Rogue One,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who was they did the,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
face mod on
Yeah.
top of.
And they also did like a young
They
Carrie
did,
Fisher.
They did young Carrie Fisher, but Carrie Fisher
she
was
was still
alive to be
alive,
like,
yes.
A-okay, because
Yeah.
I can't be her.
Yeah.
And I
Do
mean,
it.
in the sense that, like, especially with, like, Tarkin, you're doing it to have the character there,
Yes.
not
Yes.
to use the actor. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a line there.
There is.
That's
Yes.
exactly it. You're going,
Yeah.
we need Tarkin.
Yeah.
We don't need this actor back. We just need
We just need...
Tarkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a sense, they could have even just casted someone that kind of looked like him, but it was like,
Yeah.
let's just have fun and see if we can just...
Well, and that's the
Do
thing. Every
this,
Marvel
yeah.
movie and Star Wars movie is essentially like, how far can we push the de-aging and the, like, face swap tech?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like it's just as much of an experiment
It
on
is.
that as they are, like...
It's so they can put
yeah.
like R&D money in, but it's
Yeah.
part of the movie budget. So like
Yeah,
yeah.
Disney doesn't have to fork over R&D money. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, if we give Ant-Man this money, we can de-age Michael Douglas. And they're like, yep. And they're like, do it. 'Cause then we can do it in another movie
Another
later.
movie.
Like
Yeah.
we know it's gonna pay off later.
Yeah, the tech will be there.
Yeah. But yeah, so James Dean, whole like CGI
it's
recreation of it.
James Dean playing a character.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
that's where that line.
That's
is
the line,
feeling
and
weird.
that's where
Yeah.
all these actors are coming out going like, nope, the boundary
the,
is
the
line
contracts
has
are
been-
just being written. Like,
Yeah.
I will not be
Yeah.
playing in any movies.
like Chris Evans has come out going like, this is crossing a line. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, like as much as I probably wouldn't want it,
Yeah.
the idea of like
The idea is neat.
my great grandkids getting paychecks
Sure.
because like I'll be dead. Give me a shit. You know what it should be is like kind of like what's it called, the like books or stories where like after a certain
the copyright.
Oh.
line? Oh,
Yeah, the copy-
public.
yeah public there's a word for
There
it.
is.
Basically like
We use it all the time. That's how we get away with half the stuff we do on this channel. Fair use and public.
Fair use, yeah.
Public
Yeah.
domain.
like
It's public domain.
in 100
Once
years.
you've been dead so long, you're
Yeah.
part of public domain.
Yeah.
Your identity.
In
is now part of
100
public
years, you know, you can make a movie with Chris Evans in CGI and just
See, and I think the biggest thing like Chris Evans
Yeah.
and those guys are talking about is James Dean now doesn't get to make choices as to how he acts. Like you can now make
Oh.
James Dean do whatever you want
Yeah,
James Dean to do.
yeah.
Like that gets dangerous.
Yes. Yes.
Pornhub.
Exactly.
Exactly,
like,
right?
you know, there's again a line there where Chris Evans makes choices when he acts, and if he doesn't want to do something, he
Yeah,
has the
yeah.
ability to say no. A
Oh,
computer
yeah, that
generated
could get
Chris
dark
Evans.
and creepy
Can-
really
Correct.
quickly.
So it's that piece where yes,
Actress refuses to do a nude scene.
CGI
They're like,
character.
okay, we don't give a shit.
Whatever.
Let's just throw her
It's
in there.
not you.
It's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the pieces. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with you on
that's-
that one.
yeah.
Like Tarkin,
Yeah.
because
The
yes, you're bringing
character-
the character back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, as long as you get the rights from the families and all of that.
Yeah,
jazz,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, Tarkin was Tarkin.
Yeah.
He played Tarkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted Grand Moff Tarkin, not so and so.
Right.
Yeah.
You got the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that worked out well.
Well, in this movie, you could have used anybody else, but they decided to go with James.
Legitimately, the
And the
only
sad
reason
part
people
about
are
that
going to
too
see
is,
this movie
is
is
now
Yes.
there's some other actor who's like,
Not getting a
I
job.
want to play a part. And it's like,
Yeah.
no. We only hired someone who could just voice act you.
Yeah. Or we're going to give a stunt guy money
Yeah,
to
yeah.
wear a a CG one of the suits.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Like one of
And
the
he
Mark
just
Like
Ruffalo
a
Ruffalo
suits.
green, like,
Yeah, and he's just going to be like covered
like
over.
the sheet that people can't see
Yeah.
in our studio. No, wait, this
Wait,
is the
no, it's
studio
a wall.
wall. Sorry.
a wall.
Yeah, it's a
TV.
wall. It's a real
Freaky
wall.
immersion.
That's a real TV.
But yeah, there's going to be a guy running around with like his modesty cloth and his skin tight suit with all of the little dots on it.
Yeah.
And
I want to see that movie.
that's
Just-
gonna be
that's
like-
the,
Well, that's-
the green guy running
that's-
to the Vietnam.
That's like
jungle.
the like if you watch the behind the scenes stuff from Endgame.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's in his black suit with his
Yeah.
little cloth in front of his crotch,
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
Like, he's there.
Oh, he's there acting. Yeah,
So when
totally.
there's Hulk scenes,
Yeah.
he's like the guy sitting there going like,
Yeah.
you know, when they're playing with the time machines and all of that stuff.
That's time travel.
Hello, Sisu.
Hey, Sisu.
Yeah, like they're playing with the time machine stuff. Like, it's really Mark Ruffalo
Yeah.
going like, oh no.
See, that's cool.
And then they wipe him out and replace him with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Because they can. God, Seth Rogen. Start making fart jokes yourself. This is Graham. He's been around. He's still got our most viewed show on this channel. So yeah, James Dean returning from the dead to do
Yes.
a movie about the Vietnam War, because that's also what we need.
Wow.
So there you go. Batman casting. So
Yes.
we have Catwoman in this movie.
Yes.
We have Batman in this movie.
Yes.
Who are
Commissioner
they?
Gordon.
Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Twilight.
Oh,
Twilight.
okay.
Sparkling
That's
vampire.
good.
Yep.
Water for Elephants.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
He was in that Lighthouse movie with Willem Dafoe
Yes.
recently that did really, really well.
Yeah.
Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz's
Lenny
daughter
Kravitz.
is Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Is that?
Lenny Kravitz is a singer. We don't know who his daughter is. She's an actress.
She-
Oh, okay. So it's
What
like
was
a
she in
no
recently?
name.
She's
Yeah.
as far as like she hasn't done anything
Oh,
like.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, she was in all those deviant, like the based off of the teen book.
Defiance.
Divergence.
Divergence?
Divergent.
All right.
Allegiant and whatever.
Okay. So I probably recognize her face at least.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
recognize her face.
The Batman.
And then I like
Zoe
who,
Kravitz.
I like
Okay,
who
yeah, I
they
recognize her.
casted for Gordon too.
So yes, we have, and so we've talked about these ones before, but Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano is playing Edward Nashton, who will become Edward Nygma at some point, we're assuming.
yes.
So the Riddler's in this. Catwoman's in this. Jeffrey Wright is Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
We have Colin Farrell, this is the new one,
As
Oswald Cobblepot, who will become the Penguin. So
Oh.
we've already got 3 villains,
Yeah.
and Andy Serkis is going to play Alfred
Oh, cool.
Pennyworth.
Pennyworth. Yeah. So he's the butler. That one, Andy Serkis throws me off the most.
Because
Yeah.
he won't be. Because he'll actually be there as himself.
Yeah, well, one, but I like him as Ulysses Claw in Black Panther.
Oh,
like
right,
I like his
yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him as Alfred.
Like a very
right, my Alfred is like the tray in his hand and the white gloves and you know,
Yeah.
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 you know. And again, not even the Joker Alfred that we like kind of saw.
yeah. Even that wasn't the
It wasn't
Alfred
really
eye.
Alfred, but none of those characters were really who they were supposed to be.
No.
'Cause that was an alternate universe of Batman.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you've seen the Joker, but
I haven't, but
It
I've
is-
heard a lot about it.
it's an alternate universe.
Yeah, of course.
It has to be. Colin Farrell, I can kind of get
That's who?
the Penguin.
Oh.
He was also Bullseye in Daredevil.
Oh, let's not go there. But he does, like, he can play a creep character.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yes.
like, I'm not a huge Colin Farrell guy,
I'm not a
but I
big
can
Colin Farrell guy.
see him as
Yeah.
a
Oswald
Batman
Cobblepot.
villain, and especially like Oswald Cobblepot, who's really just a crime lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because in the comics, he's not the Danny DeVito Penguin.
No,
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
he's like a
he's a business
he's
guy.
a
He's
rich
a mafia
guy.
boss.
Yeah, mafia. Yeah.
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 Like he's one of those guys. And yeah, Commissioner Gordon is Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going for, obviously the diverse casting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano, and then Robert Patterson, who's now taking jujitsu courses to beat up bad guys.
That's cool.
So it sounds like they're making a decent Batman movie. I'm just
Yeah.
starting to get worried with the amount of
Exactly. Yeah, I want to know where the story
Villains?
goes.
Oh, yeah. You gotta,
Unless-
like.
unless they're just setting up.
Yeah, they're just introducing characters as their, human.
Yeah, like exactly. If he's Oswald Cobblepot, who's just like
Oswald Cobblepot.
another business person who's kind of in competition with Wayne Enterprises, like that's cool. And then
Who has a crazy
3
bunch of
movies,
umbrellas.
and then 3 movies later he becomes
Yeah.
the Penguin.
I hope they use the umbrellas. I love when the Penguin has these crazy umbrellas.
And everybody's hoping that Zoe Kravitz starts coming in and purring like what's her name did back on the old. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Batman show.
Thurman?
Huh? No,
No.
Uma Thurman did Poison Ivy.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
No, back on the old '60s show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt used to like.
Yeah.
She's
Purr.
It was this like everything is perfect. And
Oh
you're
my
like,
god.
X.
darling, and you're like.
She
Eartha Kitt was hot.
was.
Michelle Pfeiffer was hot.
Yeah.
Then we got Halle Berry, and everything went downhill for Catwoman for a
Yes.
while.
And Hathaway.
Eh,
Oh,
She's,
right.
I don't like her, but she's good. She's good looking.
yes.
She's good looking.
Yeah, that movie. The death of Heath Ledger really threw off the
Yeah.
Batman series.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I will break you, Batman.
Oh god.
Like, well, we won't talk about that.
Who's Tom Hardy again?
You know that guy in all those big movies?
Still, the only thing I actually recognize him from is that Venom.
Not bad. Oh yes, yes.
'Cause I actually
forgot
watched
he's-
Venom.
You actually saw
Mad
Venom.
Max.
I haven't watched that one.
Mad Max.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, it's like one of
Mad
the best
Max is a good
movies.
movie.
I never watched it because I didn't know anybody in it.
Charlize Theron.
I don't really like her.
Oh.
She bugs me. I used to like her, and then she kind of went nuts,
Yeah.
and she stayed nuts, and it threw me off. Like I see her in Mad Max in the commercials, and I'm like, that could just be you. Like I'm slightly worried that that's just you.
They went out there to film the new Mad Max. She's just already there. And they're like,
Sure, why
Sure!
not?
Right, Charlize?
she just
Get in
like
there.
showed up on set,
Yeah.
and then we just let her.
Oh, what joke was that? Where someone did that as a movie actor, like it was a comic thing where it was
Yeah.
just like this person just showed up and we're like, you what? And it's like, I'm in this now, and you're like, okay. Like, how do you say no to this actress?
Yeah.
They're this actress. You can't just say no. So yeah, Colin Farrell and Andy Serkis now cast in the Batman movie, the
Batman.
due out for 2021. Obviously, Ben Affleck now out
Yes.
as Batman.
And writer and director.
and writer and director, and producer, and yeah. And then what else? Man of Steel, Mustache Man, Henry
Oh,
Cavill,
Henry Cavill.
obviously out as super. Like they pretty much.
This is not connected to their.
Well, nothing's connected
Nothing's
to Justice League
connected.
anymore because they
Yes.
screwed that up too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
The DCEU.
instead
is
of
what-
going safe, they went moronic.
Yes.
It's not that hard.
It's not hard to make a freaking superhero movie. We want to be dark and edgy. Then make a Batman movie.
A good Batman movie.
Well, no, but that was even it. Man of Steel came out, and they had one of the guys who used to write for the Batman Superman animated show. So he
Oh,
started
yeah.
on the Batman animated show, and then when they did they brought Superman into it, it was like the Batman and Superman show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He still wrote for it. Paul Dini, the guy who wrote some of the video games and a bunch of the comics
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Kevin Smith was talking to him, going like, "What would you do?" And he's like, "Well, there's a balance." He's like, "Metropolis is bright and sunny,
yeah.
and everything is like A-okay."
Yeah.
And he's like, "There's stuff that happens, but Superman is there
Yeah.
It's
to like
hope.
bring hope to the
Yeah.
people and be like, "Hada!"
Yeah.
And they're like, and then he's like, and then you travel to Gotham.
Gotham.
Where it's always nighttime, and like,
It's gothic.
it's
and
got
Yeah.
the gothic architecture, and
Yeah.
it leaves those shadows for Batman to sneak through because he
Yeah.
brings the fear into the bad guys.
Yeah.
the
So
crime.
Superman brings hope to the people.
Yeah.
Batman brings fear to the bad guys.
Mm.
He's like, it's a balance.
Yeah.
Not Batman v Superman, where everybody hates all the superheroes and then they fight for no reason until one of them says their mom's name.
Yeah. And they're like, my mom's name's there too. We should be friends.
Yeah, that one bugged. Like,
Oh yeah.
but again, because it's like, well, you know, Marvel's doing Civil War. We got to do something that like matches that intensity, and it's
And that's
like,
the problem is that they're not making their own thing. They're just like chasing the coat.
Yeah.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
chase.
And then like, oh, let's make Suicide Squad. Oh my God, Guardians of the Galaxy was good. Quickly change Suicide Squad to be more like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now they got the Guardians of the Galaxy guy to do Suicide
Oh
Squad.
my God, see, and that's like, do
Because now
your
James
thing.
Gunn, well, but James
Yeah.
Gunn's gonna do his own.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which
Oh
is-
yeah, and that's promising.
Which is
yeah.
going to be great, because now we're going to get a Suicide Squad that's not trying to be Guardians of the
No.
Galaxy,
Yeah.
because the Guardians of the Galaxy
the
guy
guy
knows
isn't
not
just going
to do
to
that.
make. Yeah, yeah.
Which one of you is going to be Groot? Like,
I am Joker.
Joker.
like that's the big piece. Is yes, exactly. Like James Gunn is going to go in and make it not Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy,
yeah.
as opposed to them trying to
To-
follow Guardians of the
yeah.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's why Wonder Woman did well, is
Yeah,
because
because it was.
it's like, well, we can.
They had nothing to. Yeah.
Well, they did. You could have gone with Captain
Yeah.
America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
but they didn't.
They didn't.
For the most part, it was actually a World War One-ish type movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to change that just so that it wasn't like Captain America.
Right, like Captain America, the Hydra had like laser weapons and like high tech that was coming into World War II.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, legitimately, like they got mustard bombed or whatever.
Yeah.
That city, and she's going, "Oh my god!" Like the death and destruction and this and that. Like
Yeah.
it hits her, and you're like,
Yeah.
"That's
Cool.
a movie."
That's a
Yeah.
movie.
And again, DC has the problem. This is DC's problem: is they have superheroes who disguise themselves as humans.
Yeah.
Marvel has humans that disguise themselves as
Super
Heroes.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that makes
Captain America is Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
He puts on the costume
Yeah.
to fight the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's really true.
But deep inside, he is Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
He stands for American truth and freedom
Yeah.
and this and that.
Yeah, too many of the DC heroes are like aliens, where they are
Yeah.
the hero first,
And-
person
And
second.
the person is
person-
their
Yeah.
disguise so that they can like have some time off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like Chris Evans as
Yeah.
Captain America is always Captain America, whether he's in the baseball cap with the sunglasses on trying to hide from Hydra agents,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
he's got the shield and
Yeah.
the star on his
Yeah.
chest. Like,
Yeah.
and that's always been, even in the comics, Superman can do anything until a little green rock hits him, and then he's, oh no, my powers are dead. And you're like,
I'm dying.
well, you have laser eyes. Why didn't you shoot the guy from a mile away? Pew!
Yeah.
You should have seen the green rock coming. You have like super vision. You have everything.
You have everything.
But even Batman, that's the thing. He's Batman first,
Yeah.
and Bruce Wayne second. And
Yeah.
you see that. And
Oh
Batman,
yeah.
Batman's good that way because it's that tortured soul.
Mm.
Yeah.
He works.
Yeah.
But again, Wonder Woman, the movie worked because she was a god
Yeah.
who they humanized by going like, there is this death and destruction, and like not everything is great like you thought it was on your
Yeah.
island.
Yeah.
Like, you brought that World War One chaos into her life.
Yeah.
Cool. Aquaman was okay. They made Aquaman cool.
Yeah.
And and they did. I haven't watched it, but it looks different enough where it's like, okay, you actually took some
Yeah.
It's like
crazy ass
it's
risks
actually
this time.
It's
yeah.
a globe it's National Treasure, but with Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they're searching for things across
And then they
the
just
globe.
built
Looking
like
for that.
like with kind of what we were saying, like the problem is the alien into human.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh fuck it, he's an alien. Let's just world build this like
Yeah.
Right.
mind mesmerizing world.
But
of
that's the other
you know.
He doesn't want to be the god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to be the man.
Yeah. So he's just like,
He can talk to fish, but he doesn't want to.
yeah.
Like, he was raised by human,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so he wants to be... He
Yeah.
wants to be human. He wants to sit there and drink beers with his dad and
Yeah.
just be done with it. Not...
Yeah.
And then, like, his people
Rule
are like, we need your
Atlantis.
help and, like, come and rule Atlantis again. He's like, that ain't my gig. Like, go
Yeah.
away.
Go
See,
away.
that's yeah.
Like, he's trying to shove off the...
And there's no Marvel movie where I'm going, okay, he's
He's
Yes.
that one, right?
that
Like,
Yeah.
ironically, Aquaman's one of their like, and Wonder Woman are like,
Yeah. Wonder Woman's...
Batman and Superman are not there.
I know, which is stupid.
yeah.
Like, that's the biggest piece. You look at how Justice League did at the box office.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me 15 years ago that Captain America and Iron Man would have done better than Batman and Superman
Yeah.
at the box
Yeah.
office,
Right.
I would have told you you're on crazy pills
Yeah.
because, like, Iron Man was legitimately, what, 1 or 2 seasons of
Yeah.
a cartoon show on
No
TV?
one really.
Yeah.
And then he
knew
was,
Iron
the, drunk,
Man as
he was the
much.
drunken idiot in the comics.
Yeah.
Like,
The philanthropist that no one really
sure,
liked.
but that's the like...
Yeah.
That's
And then
so
they're like,
true.
we're making an Iron Man movie, and you're like, that's a bold move. Like...
right.
We don't
yeah,
own
yeah.
anybody else that you want. We don't own X-Men. We don't
Oh,
own Spider-Man.
right, 'cause they'd
we
sold
don't,
off
They
everybody.
don't, they don't know the
Yeah.
Hulk.
So they didn't have the Hulk. They didn't
Yeah.
have Spider-Man. They didn't have X-Men. They didn't have Fantastic Four. So
Four.
all of their
The
big
big
sellers,
It almost worked in their favor.
it did because they could do whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's the piece. Is even Guardians of the Galaxy worked out because 5 people know Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I say, Drax pisses Ross off
Because it's not Drax.
because it's not Drax from the comics.
Oh, but
But Ross and 4 other people are the only ones that know that.
And for the rest of the audience, it's something completely new and different.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Dave Bautista actually like fits that character as
Yeah.
opposed to some of the other stuff that Dave Bautista does. But so hopefully this Batman does
Well,
better.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
just sucks that now the DCEU is essentially now no longer a thing, and we're just going to get standalone DC movies.
which
is fine.
good,
Yeah.
It's fine. It just
because it lets you just do things like the Joker, where it's like, let's just do this one standalone story that's good,
Yeah.
and then
It just sucks because
Move
we're never
on.
going to get an actual Justice League flick.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a-
and that'd be the nice part though, is then maybe the stars would align at some point. Like,
If they
Yeah.
can,
you know,
and that's the hope, is
I
like
think
if
that
they
they
can
need
get their ducks in a row.
yeah.
Yeah.
If like, you know, this Batman starts doing really well, then it's like, let's ease in, like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what, let's have, you know, some,
Yeah.
you could even drag in like some of the other like the same Wonder Woman
Yeah.
or same Aquaman and just kind of let it flow naturally like Marvel,
yeah.
not just like, you know.
Try and force it.
Well, but that
Force
was
it,
even
yeah.
the thing is like Kevin Feige threw Nick Fury at the end of Iron Man, going
Yeah.
like, "We're doing the Avengers Initiative," and everybody's like, "Are you?"
Are you?
And Marvel's like, "We may."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was a
Well,
very
that's-
They
sensitive.
weren't
like,
like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't
Like-
sure yet.
Yeah.
we could. It's a possibility.
Right.
Like it
Yeah.
depends on how well received everything else is,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, challenge accepted. And then you made
Yeah.
an okay Thor movie.
Yeah.
Like, for what Thor again?
Yeah.
Thor.
Yeah. Right.
I still like Captain America First
Yeah.
Avenger.
Yes.
I dig that movie.
That
Yeah.
movie's so good.
So hard. The World War II stuff.
Yeah.
I love all the Captain America movies.
Yeah.
Because again, Winter Soldier is Winter Soldier is
Was
my
so
favorite
good.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And that's
everybody's like
and
Endgame
that's-
and
and
Infinity
even,
War
like-
because they're just these gigantic epics. And I'm
Yeah.
like, screw it, man. The espionage Tom Clancy movie with Captain America in it.
Yeah,
Great.
and that's the cool part about Marvel too, is that they're willing to just do well, and even like the next lineup. Like
I know.
I have
We're
like
getting
so
I have
different.
huge Marvel fatigue, but they're like, we're gonna do Doctor Strange as like a Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
With Elizabeth Olsen in it too.
Yeah.
we're gonna do like Scarlet Witch and the robot dude as like a romantic comedy. Like,
on Disney
go
Plus.
for it,
Go
you guys.
for it.
Well,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
now the best part is so WandaVision,
Yeah.
the romantic comedy on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Something happens that causes Scarlet Witch to enter that madness of the multiverse. So it's Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange in that movie together.
See, like you,
And you're like,
okay.
we're getting a full-on magic flick
Yeah.
in the multiverse, which is very like Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
There's going to be huge horrors.
It's
that
Yeah.
are
gonna be
gonna, like,
great.
It's like okay.
we're
you-
getting
you-
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We're
Yeah.
getting a martial arts movie
yeah.
out of
Wait,
Marvel.
Marvel.
Great way to fight the fatigue is just like
We'll do a
let's
different
Change it
genre.
up.
just
Just.
And then at the end of
Yeah.
everything, they're like, "Oh, and we're casting this guy who did a stellar job in the Luke Cage show
Yeah.
as Blade. So now you're getting a vampire movie." And it's like,
yeah.
They're going much
And
more
that's-
fantasy, magical.
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
like,
what they have to do to
great,
just fight
though.
the fatigue. Is like,
and then every once in a while, they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, don't worry about it. There's another Thor movie coming out."
yeah,
But we got Natalie Portman back, and she's gonna take a hammer.
And it's called
Yeah.
Love and Thunder.
And it's still and it's Taika
with Tiki.
Waititi, who did
With
the
Tiki.
last one, right?
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's gonna be
So
fun.
he's bringing the
Just-
same zany adventure
Yeah.
to Thor again.
Yeah.
It's
Everybody's
so
like,
fun.
so you and that's the piece.
Yeah.
Marvel there's no fatigue because they keep changing the movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then even like, and what I've kind of been doing even is just like take bites out of wherever I want.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to be like watch
all
them
of
all.
them.
So once the
No.
next Avengers comes out, it makes sense to me. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well, that one looks fun.
Yeah,
That one looks
I'll
fun.
watch that. Sure.
And they stand alone well
Yeah.
enough and connect well. Like I'm sure whoever's doing that job
That's Kevin Feige.
is getting old
Yeah.
very quickly.
No, because he's a giant nerd, and it's a
Okay,
puzzle
this
for
is
him.
his. Yeah.
So
This is the
he
thing.
This is his
This was a
thing,
couple
yeah.
weeks ago. He got promoted, so he's now in charge of not only the TV,
Yeah.
also the
All-
comics. He's
yeah.
in charge of Marvel
Well, he,
and all their creative
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, you know how the TV shows didn't connect to the movies? Everything's going to now. So he's canceling shows that are already on TV.
oh yeah.
So like
he's
Cloak
just-
and Dagger,
yeah.
done.
Done.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to connect.
Oh,
All the Disney
yeah,
Plus
yeah.
shows coming out
Mm.
are going to connect back to the movies now.
Yeah.
So like, it
Yeah.
is this big universe where it's like, you can watch it without.
Yeah.
You
Well,
don't
even-
have to watch
Even
it.
Warhammer now has a little council
Yeah.
of men who are like, because like they kind of let their rights just kind of go to whoever wants
Mhm.
it. But there's
Yeah.
this council of people that you go, can I? Oh, nope.
No,
That's not.
no, you can't. No,
And they're even like sometimes they'll go up and be like, can I just reveal this huge secret in my book? And yep, go for it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's essentially like
Yeah.
you watch the Russos talk about the Marvel stuff, and they'll be like, all of a sudden you're working on the script, and the door opens, and Kevin pops his head in, and he's like, "We've got Spider-Man," and the door closes, and they're just like, "Okay,
Everyone.
like, what can we do with
Yeah,
Spider-Man?
yeah.
Like, let's play with this."
Yeah.
and again, that's what these companies, like Kevin Feige did such a good job. He got the president of, so when Disney bought Marvel, there was Perlmutter up at the top of Marvel, and he was making choices. So Iron Man 3, the villain was actually supposed to be a female. And he's like, well, no one will believe a female villain because, you know, she's a woman. And, right? And so remember the chick at the beginning who's making the flower that he sleeps with? Like, she's doing the whole regenerative thing, like at the beginning of Iron Man 3. There's a woman he sleeps with in the past.
Okay.
They're going up the elevator, and he makes that guy wait on the roof as he sleeps with the other chick.
Yeah.
Like, he never goes up to the roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's working on the regenerative flower.
Okay.
That is the catalyst of the movie.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be the bad guy.
Oh.
And they made them change this. He made them change the story
To the guy on the roof.
To the guy on the roof. And
Yeah.
Kevin Feige's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
We had a great story plan.
Yeah, and
This arc was going to be great.
Yeah.
And so he went to Disney and he's like, either I leave or he does. And they're like, you're the one that people actually like working for. So they moved him just to the comics and TV section and gave all of the movie stuff to Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
And then Robert Downey Jr., whose contract was up, signed new contracts. Chris Evans signed new contracts. Everybody signed new contracts because they were like,
we
like working for Kevin.
Yeah.
We hated working for Perlmutter.
Yeah.
And they never said it because you know, their careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Perlmutter's just pretty much like, he's a figurehead who gets paid money now.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige is now like, this is how creative
Lord
things are
and
going to go.
master of, yeah.
So,
yeah.
but that's what DC has always needed, and they've never had it because they would pick someone,
Mm.
and then like, you know, Batman v Superman doesn't do well, and they're like, you're fired, and they're like, I didn't even greenlight that movie. Like, you guys had already made it.
Yeah.
I was trying to work on the next phase of stuff to try and fix that.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, too late. You're out. Bring in this guy.
Yeah.
And then the Justice League happens where the director quits partway through, and Joss Whedon has to try and come in and save it. Then they fire that guy because, well, the movie didn't do well, and he's like, your director quit. What am I supposed, like...
Yeah.
So instead of giving someone chance to, like, get footing and, like, carry a story forward and do that kind of... They just kept firing people, going, like, you're not in charge of the story anymore.
Mishmash project.
Right, so then a person comes into the room going...
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
What was he
here?
thinking?
Yeah.
But he wasn't thinking it. The guy previous was, and he was just taking the tacks off the wall and didn't get done in time.
It was the same thing with the Hobbit movies. Like, it was like people were like, "Oh, Peter Jackson, why'd you fuck it up?" It's like he didn't. He was handed a project that was like half like
to be Guillermo del Toro's.
Yeah.
Yep.
He literally got his like half done
and told
project.
to finish it.
And, like he was like filming scenes up to like the week before the release.
Yeah.
Like and like Lord of the Rings, he had like 2 or 3 years prep.
Well, because no one thought it would do well.
Yeah.
So they're just like, take your time, we don't care.
Do whatever you want. Yeah. Or it's like, oh shit.
There's money to be made.
Go.
I hate that part of everything. Because that's the other part I like about Marvel. Something's not panning out for them.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just
oh, we've canceled this project, or we've postponed it to a different date.
Yeah. They don't just like, okay, push out whatever.
Yeah, well, we've made it, I guess we got to do it.
Yeah. Just, hey, you in the editing room.
Put this movie together
for us.
We only shot one scene each, like, we only shot each scene once. Really easy to patch together. We filmed it all at the same time, like, in chronological order. You just really have to cut out when we say action and cut. How many angles do I have of each scene? One.
Yeah. One take. They fuck up their lines. You literally in the editing room have to try and like mimic their voices. Like,
you've got it, Cap. Bucky, what happened to your voice? I don't know. So yeah, and then BlizzCon updates just to round out the show because we talked a bit about. They announced stuff at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
They gave deep dives on stuff after we had filmed last week.
And we're sorry.
And they're we're sorry.
They're apologizing.
Which they keep apologizing for even after, like,
yeah.
Blizzard president expands even further, and you're like, just stop talking.
Yeah.
Here's a shovel. Keep digging. Because even when he apologizes, doesn't say, it's like, you didn't actually say the words China. Ever.
Ever.
And it's like, yeah.
And as people have been asking me too, and it's like, oh fuck it, just like commit, just be like, yeah,
Sure.
Chinese communism, fuck you, Hong Kong. Like,
Pick a side.
You can commit, like, don't
Pick a side.
screw up.
Pick a side. What are they going to do?
I'd respect them for that more than the half-assed apology.
Well, that's the piece. The half-assed apology doesn't help. Either shut up
Yeah.
and stay tight-lipped. Stop just like, we're sorry you didn't like our sorry about being sorry for
Stop
being sorry.
tiptoeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Pick a side or shut up.
Yeah.
Either way, World of Warcraft, they did the deep dive, so we're getting more customization.
mm-hmm.
The next expansion is dropping our levels down from 120 to 50. And
Which
then we
I
have
think
to
is
go
a
back
good
to
move.
60.
I think it's a good move.
So
I'm just, every time I see a World of Warcraft expansion, I'm just sheerly impressed.
that it's lasted this long,
yeah.
15 years.
I'm like,
the anniversary is right
poor
now.
engine, like, holy.
They have been-
like, obviously they're like each.
Each expansion's kind of an upgrade to the engine, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But it's
still,
taken us
like,
years to get, like, the models are now, like,
Damn.
They're finally,
the models have caught up.
And I think like half the reason why people were upset about Overwatch was because of World of Warcraft. It's like you've done this like for decades. You've milked this like.
Well, so that we were talking like Overwatch 2 is essentially just now a really expensive patch
yeah.
to get single player into your game because
Yeah.
they've already announced all the multiplayer
I think
stuff.
the problem with Overwatch 2 was the 2 at the end.
Yeah,
yeah.
like really
like
call
you
it
could've-
Overwatch, story mode.
Yeah.
Release
Expansion.
it for
Yeah.
$60 Canadian, so $40
Yeah.
American or whatever. Like release it as an expansion, but even
Yeah.
the WoW expansions are still
Yeah.
Expansion.
like their money. Like it's like buying the
they're
full game again.
They're a full price game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But call it an
yeah.
expansion, not two.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only issue I had.
And then
with
the
it,
only dumb move,
which is
and
the dumbest.
well, then the other
issue,
dumb move,
but, yeah.
multiplayer. Well, do you own Overwatch 1? Yeah, you get all the new characters in the maps.
Yeah.
So why am I buying 2 single player? I don't care. Like,
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
even I was kind of like that too. I'm like, I was all upset because I'm like, you.
now you're
greedy
making me
bastards.
buy another one.
And they're like, no, everything transfers over. I'm like, okay, but then the now.
And everything transfers back except the single play.
Yeah.
You're essentially buying a new game to play single player. So yes, they essentially
And they got
should
the
have
cool
followed.
like level, and I like kind of the leveling up stuff where it's like, because it expands on it quite a. Well, I feel like the multiplayer will be. Wait, well,
The if you have one, you get all of that stuff. The multiplayers, yes.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now what's in 2 then?
The story.
The story.
Okay.
Legit, the single player.
Well,
They're
I'll just-
charging for single player. And I'm like, but then tell me that. Don't call it 2.
Yeah, don't call it 2.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
They
The
fucked
2
up with
is,
2.
The 2 is the
Yeah.
stupid part. Because like
It
Diablo
should have been like
Diablo 4 coming
World
out.
of Warcraft. Just throw a subtitle.
Right.
Yeah,
like World of
yeah.
Warcraft
Rather
isn't
than
on
add
World of
subtitles, but okay.
I'm digging World of
what is this one
Warcraft
called?
Shadowlands.
Shadowlands.
Okay.
So I'm digging Warcraft at this point because they've killed off all of the notable characters
Oh,
from like all the other games.
yeah.
So,
So,
now
it's just like
the lore they have to make up new things.
Yeah.
yeah, which is cool. And that's what I think that was my issue with World of Warcraft.
Was they were banking on all of the old lore for so
Yeah.
long. Well,
And then,
don't
like-
worry,
and
they're
then-
still gonna bank on it.
And then like, I'm like, they'll never have a Warcraft 4
No, they
because
won't.
like.
Well, so
I'm,
even
as a
before-
person jumping purely from 3 to 4, I'd be like,
What just happened?
fuck
Yeah.
happened?
Gotta play all of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, all of World of Warcraft.
A
understandable.
15-year legacy in between.
Well, so and then they talked like Warcraft 3 Reforged. They're
Yeah.
not gonna redo. They were gonna redo maps and some of the story to make it more in line with like retcon certain things.
Yeah.
They're not doing that.
No,
No.
No, yeah,
it's
fuck
mainly
it.
just a.
It's a reskin of
Yeah.
3.
Even all the cinematics aren't even going to be.
Some of them are.
remade. Yeah, some of them are.
Make it
but-
look pretty, which is
That's
all
what
I
they do.
needed. Yeah.
Now if they could make it work, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, like World of Warcraft, what they're doing now. So I watched the full deep dive on World of Warcraft. Not that I subscribe to it anymore, but it's one of those things where I'm like, what you gonna do now? So if you're max level, you go down to level 50 because they
Yeah.
want every level to mean something again,
Oh, okay.
as opposed to just like
a number that's going up.
right.
Yeah.
You're no longer just a number going up. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna gain a spell or an ability every level.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna make sure you have all of this stuff. They're putting player choice back into the game, so it's actually an RPG again. Like you can play how you want to. So if you are an idiot, you're not gonna make it into groups.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You still have to play the meta of a game.
Yeah.
Which is
But
which
if
I
you're
missed.
but if
I
you're
missed
running
that.
around single player, you know, if you want to run around and smack things with an axe as a, you know, bow,
Yeah.
like a guy
As
who
a
should have
hunter.
a bow, you can do it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
giving us moves back. They're giving like they wanted to make classes feel like classes again. So paladins have auras again because they got rid of auras, which was
I
dumb
know.
because like
That was
again
the-
Warcraft
the
3
mess-
that was
yeah.
the piece is like you hit the button and like Uther
Yeah.
gets the thing underneath. it.
Yeah.
The story to Shadowlands is the Lich King died at the end of Frozen Throne. Wrath of the Lich King. Whichever one was not the Warcraft 3 expansion.
Oh, yeah.
And Bolvar, one of the paladins, takes the helmet because someone has to control the undead or they would just run rampant through.
Yeah.
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 Puts the helmet on, sat down, everybody's like, so we're just gonna leave? Yes. Expansions later, Sylvanas, Windrunner,
Yeah.
Banshee Queen, who has been gaining power like mad,
Bad.
Yeah.
takes on Bolvar one-on-one and his army.
Yeah. That was cool.
Annihilates.
Annihilate.
Okay, I have to say, BlizzCon, all those cinematics
Ugh.
were just mind blowing.
They make good cinematics.
They make great cinematics.
Like all three of them, like Overwatch 2,
Diablo.
Diablo especially. Holy shit!
I know. Oh,
Well, they had to make up for last year's, you know, don't you all have phones? Because that was last year's
Oh
Diablo.
yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, that was actually the best part about that shitty phone game was like the huge backpedaling they had to do this year. Like, fuck, now I have to make a really kick-ass Diablo game.
Yep.
Like, yes.
I know, now you have to work even harder.
Yeah.
Sylvanas rips apart the helmet.
Destroys
which,
that.
Again, threw everybody off because she's doing like the...
Oh yeah, yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, she's taking over the Scourge.
Yeah.
Like, whoa!
Yeah.
Boom!
Boom.
And you're like, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah. What?
So the sky opens up. So essentially what they had to explain at the deep dive was how death works in
Yeah.
WoW.
Oh yeah. 'cause-
In
I
World,
guess-
so in Warcraft, when
Yeah.
you die, you
Yeah.
go and see an arbiter. And
Okay.
he decides, and again, this is all like split seconds.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You see him, he judges you.
yeah.
He either sends you back, which is what he's done to our players forever.
Every
Which is
time
why
you
we
die.
spirit walk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So they now explain that.
Yeah, yeah. They
So,
actually lure.
They lured
They
their
lured
way
the
into the spirit
respawn.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's
they've
cool.
lured their way into that.
Yeah.
If depending on how you lived your life, you end up in a certain part of the Shadowland. And just because
Okay.
it's called Shadowland does not mean it's all dark and broody and moody.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just.
So there's the one zone where like the spirit healer angel type people, they exist. If you've lived a very pious life, you pretty much go there, shed the rest of your worldly worries and this and that, and become like a spirit healer or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and then again, they say old heroes who have died, you will find here. So like Uther
that's-
Lightbringer,
oh,
who
that's
we've never
cool.
seen in World of
Yeah.
Warcraft,
Oh, cool.
is gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah,
and it's
awesome.
like, yes, because I always love it when the
Yeah.
old lore people come back.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I get excited because
Yeah.
I've played Warcraft since
Well, hell, that
Warcraft.
was half the fun of Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
Wasn't the like gameplay? It
No.
was just the here's
I
all
get
See,
my
my
they-
heroes.
the
My
sto-
Blade
yeah.
Master is back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my
right?
god.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so there's that one. And then there's an area where you go to if you lived, like you were kind of a bad guy. Like you aimed for power. You aimed too high. You flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
You know, your grasp for power is a little too much.
Yeah.
You're now going to this other area to atone for your sins.
Oh, cool.
And this
Yeah.
one's kind of like a gothic gargoyle type,
Oh, cool.
Dracula's castle type
Yeah, yeah.
area. So like the broken down village with the spire that, like the
yeah.
hill that goes up, and legitimately they've talked about one of the dungeons. It's a two-parter, and once you beat the two parts, you unlock the tower. You're essentially climbing Dracula's castle.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's like the Night Elf area. So in World of Warcraft or in Warcraft lore, there's the Emerald Dream, which is spring and summer. It's where growth happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Shadowlands, it's fall and winter. It's death and like the beginnings of rebirth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a Night Elf area.
Yeah.
Then there is a very like fell demon area. That is for people who are powerful. Not bad.
Yeah.
So it looks evil.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But it's like
yeah.
Thrall's mom, who was an orc who didn't give in to the demons.
Yeah.
Like she had a strong will.
Yeah.
She's there.
That's cool. That's cool.
Then there's the Maw.
Yeah.
The Maw is like a giant tornado of death. And that's where the worst of the worst go when they die.
Yeah.
The problem is
Yeah.
that death is broken. That's the whole expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you die, you end up in the Maw.
Oh,
Every soul does.
Every soul
So
does.
Sylvanas last year kept killing people and pissing everybody off.
Yeah.
She had made a deal with the jailer who runs the Maw
Yeah.
to send him souls.
Oh.
So that's how she's gotten so powerful.
Oh, that's cool.
So the expansion goes, you climb the Frozen Throne, you get to the top, Bolvar's still up there because he's still alive. Like, he can still live. But he's all like, what up? This is what happened.
Yeah.
Get over into the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
When you travel there, though, you end up in the Maw.
Oh, that's
And your
cool.
first job is to escape.
Oh, cool. With all the people that Sylvanas has killed.
Well, no, you
No.
have to leave people behind. Like, it's
Oh.
essentially, you gotta get out.
Oh, that's cool.
You get out. You
Yeah.
visit the Arbiter.
Yeah.
The Arbiter's like, we need help because we're not getting souls.
Yeah.
And souls are kind of the thing that run this place.
That powers them.
It powers everything. So
Yeah.
you have to start at one area
Yeah.
and work your way through the other 4 until you go back to the Maw at the end game.
Yeah.
And so there's an actual story progression. You can't just play where you want to anymore.
Oh,
Like, they've
yeah.
built
Yeah,
the
yeah.
story back in.
Yeah.
And as you go, each guy has like a clan
Oh, that's cool.
that
Yeah.
you get to pick at endgame which one you join.
Oh,
And they will give you rewards
Yeah.
for those things.
Nice.
The Maw is this brand new thing where you kill a bad guy,
Hmm.
the jailer has noticed you.
Oh.
And if he notices you enough, all of a sudden bad guys have a bigger field of view. So they can see you from further away. Or all of a sudden a bunch of hellhounds will just come after you because
Oh,
he'll sick
cool.
bad guys out on you.
Yeah,
So the more
yeah.
time you spend in the Maw,
Yeah.
the harder it gets to play.
Oh, that's cool.
There's also
like
a
that.
dungeon that's a
Yeah.
roguelike dungeon that's unending. So you just keep
Oh.
going up floors, and
Oh,
each
that's
floor
cool.
is randomly chosen and it's different.
Yeah.
And then each time you beat one, you can get certain things, so it'll power you up for that dungeon. So it's like you can no longer use ice moves as your shard, water moves as your shaman, but all of your fire moves have like 100% chance to crit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And it's like, damn you people. Like,
They're sucking me back in.
sucking me back in again. And then, yes, all the customization options. So, new hair options, new face options, tattoo options, which we haven't had before. You can actually change your eye color,
Oh.
which has never been a thing.
Yeah.
You picked a face, and that
Yeah.
face came with eyes. And
That's what kind of
switching.
sucked me into like one of the I don't remember which one it was now, but like just like when they bumped up the graphics and the character models and like character creation. I'm like, I want to just even jump in here to like dabble a little bit. You
Right.
know?
Well, and
Yeah.
that's they even said like they've replaced some of the capes, which are still just like
hard.
a flat pixel like
Yeah.
square.
Yeah.
They're putting backpacks into the game and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff
Oh,
to
that's
replace
cool.
them, and it's
Yeah.
just like, thank you.
Yeah.
And even modding your character to look a specific way, like you can take your chest armor off now.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to be that barbarian-looking
Oh.
warrior, you can now be the
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
You don't have to be like clad in armor,
Yeah,
and plate
that
armor,
big
like
bulky, like
yeah, I am here. Watch me roar. You can
Yeah.
take it off and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
In Battlegrounds, I think they started putting it back on so you would know what people
Oh,
were wearing, and I'm like,
Balancing, but
when you
yeah.
click on a guy, it tells you they're a warrior. They better be wearing plate.
yeah. Yeah.
Because again, that's that other piece
Yeah.
of Warcraft where,
Yeah.
like World of Warcraft, where you get into a dungeon and there's a warrior wearing cloth armor, and he's like, "It's because I'm a pirate, and pirates don't wear,
Yeah.
wear plate armor," and you're like, "But we're still playing a video game.
Yeah, yeah. There still has to be yeah.
Like this isn't D&D. Like this isn't a role playing
Yeah,
tabletop
there's
game.
other games.
There's
Play something else.
there's game mechanics built in,
Yeah.
and you're not working within them.
Yeah, yeah.
With an actual role-playing game, like
Yeah.
you can talk to your DM, GM, and be like, "Listen, I want to run a pirate, but he's more of like a warrior instead of a
Yeah.
rogue.
Yeah.
He's not going to wear the plate armor, but he's still got he's strong."
Yeah. He'll adjust accordingly.
Right, but
whereas
it-
like
but,
the video
like-
games, like this dungeon has these things. There's no.
Well, yeah, you go
like,
in as
yeah.
a tank. You're in as a tank, like
Yeah, yeah.
There's
roles you have to play against.
You have to
certain
play your
things.
role.
Yeah.
So that's the piece. So the Warcraft stuff looks interesting. Warcraft 3 Reforged is pretty much just a HD skin on top of Warcraft 3.
Yeah. Which is all it needed.
Which is really like
Yeah.
I still wish they would have done Warcraft 2
That'd be cool.
because I loved Warcraft
And
2.
they did StarCraft recently, like
Yes.
OG StarCraft. So
That's my
why the
thing. It's
fuck
like I
not?
would have
Yeah.
rather them start like Warcraft 1 and work their way up and like do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, like that's one of those pieces where that's what I would have preferred. But
Yeah.
And then Overwatch, we're getting the single player story.
Yeah, I know that was. I was mad, and then I was kind of like, well, I was only mad because I just had to buy a new game.
Right, but that's like everybody's like, so they're turning this into a sports game. Like we're gonna get a yearly release of Overwatch now,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah, they should have just called it an expansion and just been done with it.
Yep. Yeah, like Overwatch, put a subtitle underneath.
Yeah.
And then just be like, if you want the single player campaign, you buy this game.
Yeah. If you don't, just
keep
play
playing
Overwatch.
keep playing Overwatch
Yeah.
1, which I have to commend them for doing
Yeah.
that piece.
yeah,
Because
there's
that's
a
what I've
quality
always
of
asked
life
for.
Still with Overwatch, yeah.
Like every time a Call of Duty game comes out, I'm like, why aren't the old Call of Duty maps part of this?
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's
so Blizzard's like, we don't want to split the player base, just multiplayer works.
Yeah.
And it's like, thank you.
Yeah, because that's all, and that's what made Overwatch. That's why I keep going back to Overwatch
Yeah.
and not any other shooter, is because
Oh, we're horrible. We play Call of Duty remastered on our PlayStations. Like we'll go back to it because it's
yeah,
simple, shooty,
Yeah.
arcade style
yeah,
fighting.
yeah. And if there's anything I want to unwind with, it's not like
Yeah.
just like Overwatch because I can just be this character. Or there's a new character. Let's try them out.
Yeah.
You know.
I get mad at Overwatch because I have no idea what I'm doing.
But that's
I
what's
can't-
nice about Overwatch, though, is because I feel like I can just jump into quick play
And that's
with
the
no
piece
idea
is-
what I'm doing, and just
And that's the
like,
piece is and that's
Yeah.
Overwatch is better because no one can talk to you as much.
Yes. There's no
Like Heroes of the Storm is bad for jumping and doing
Oh.
quick play because again you're in quick play. No one cares.
Yeah. No one cares when you're in quick play because
But they shouldn't, but they do. Like, people get really feisty, and you're like, listen, I haven't played in 6 months.
yeah.
I'm trying to,
I'm playing a character that I've never touched.
or I'm playing a character that, again, I haven't touched
Yeah.
in 6 months, and it's like, because I'll play Sylvanas a lot.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like, I can take out a lane all by myself.
Oh yeah.
So I should
Yeah.
be soaking up XP, because that's what I was doing the last time I played, and people seem to enjoy the fact that I was leveling us
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And then you get this guy, Sylvanas, we need you in this fight. And I'm like, why? Like, I've almost destroyed the entire bottom lane.
Yeah.
Like, we cool.
Yeah.
I'm going for the base in
And
like
especially
2
when
minutes.
you're going like PVE, like shut the fuck up, nobody cares. Like if you're doing PvP, then you're like, okay, yeah, we're getting rolled over here.
Or tell me a plan.
Yeah.
Like, again, I never understand that in games where you're playing multiplayer and people just start yelling at you.
It's like,
And it's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just clearing the lane.
yeah.
Oh, could you come and do this? Yeah. Legit, you asked me to do something. I'm like, oh yeah, totally, man. Like, if you're
If
giving
we're
me
having a plan, then
well, if you're giving me suggestions,
Don't just-
I figure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just killing things until
yeah.
other things happen. That's even in Overwatch where it's
Yeah.
like, well, we're supposed to move this tank thingy forward, right? Like, we're supposed to escort this? Yes, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, because that's the nice part about Overwatch too, is there's very streamlined objectives.
Yeah.
Push this to there. And
Yeah.
if you don't want to push the thing, you're killing people, so it's easier for the guy who is pushing the thing to push the thing.
But that's my thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I will stay by the giant tank thingy then and push it because
Yeah.
this is
And even
my
like
job.
lately, I've been playing a lot of, well, because they redid the quick play
Oh, yeah.
with like,
Well,
okay,
you-
we literally are shoehorning. There has to be 2 tanks,
of those,
2
2 of
health,
those, yeah.
2 damage, which is nice because they made it very rewarding to play the unwanted
To play,
things.
yes.
It's like, I don't want to play a tank, but I do like the fact that I'm getting like 25 in-game credits per match. And hey, Sigma's kind of cool.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, okay, I'll just be Zenyatta and just sit on the objective and throw balls at people.
I just want to be Torbjorn because,
Oh.
he's a dwarf. but
Because,
not
like,
a
I
dwarf.
played heavy on, like, Ashe and Pharah up
Yeah.
until that update. And I'm like, oh, this really did help me just get out of those, like, 30
These are what I do,
hours of
this is
these
what I-
2
yeah.
characters where I just, you know...
Well, there's even Heroes of the Storm I liked when they gave you, like, play as a Diablo character or play as,
It's
a
like your
Diablo
daily
character
challenges.
that's this. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, I'll get those done and then I'll go back to my regular thing.
Yeah.
And if the daily
Yeah.
challenges fit the character you always play, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Or even, like, in when those daily challenges were, like, play Diablo character and play a tank. You're like, oh,
Oh,
I'll
I'll
kill
play-
2 birds,
Yeah,
1 stone
exactly.
by, you
Playing
know...
this character I've never played before.
Yeah,
because, yeah. And I believe Heroes of the Storm got a new hero.
The dragon.
Deathwing.
Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had a digital ticket to BlizzCon, you got him.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I was so tempted to buy a digital ticket. I've never bought a digital ticket to BlizzCon until I'm like, they're actually announcing games that I'm kind of interested in, and then there's that huge shadow
I know.
over the whole thing. Especially
just
after
waited
last
for it.
year's like April Fool's joke.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my god! Especially, I didn't buy a BlizzCon ticket because they said the questioning period was
Yeah. So yeah, the Q&A part.
The Q&A was
you had to submit your questions early.
Yeah.
You could do it at the show, or you could do it on Reddit.
But they did a good year. Like, it did good show, so they didn't even need to do it.
Well, they didn't need to, and the Q&A part too was very much
aside from keeping politics out of it.
Right.
They
and then
didn't release games where people are going to walk up and shit on them.
Is this going to come out on the consoles? No, don't you have a phone? Like, again, we didn't have any of that because, again, I'm pretty sure everybody went through some kind of training.
Yeah.
This year. Like,
that too.
The Warcraft Deep Dive was absolutely hilarious because the guy legitimately, because stuff leaked.
Oh, so they...
Early, so he's like, and here is a never-before-seen picture that I'm sure none of you have ever seen before.
Warhammer's really good at that.
Yeah.
When there's a leak, well, it's funny, like, when there's a leak, they will swing in harder.
Yeah.
Like, even before I realized there was a leak, like,
yeah,
there's like a half-assed, like, oh, here's like a picture of a stolen picture of like a magazine and Games Workshop's like, oh, here's the full fucking model.
Oh, they just give it to you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, and here's like an extra thing that's beside that. And that article comes out so quickly that like some people were like, oh, like see the fucking leaked image afterwards.
After they actually have, they're like, oh. Okay.
Like usually we're pretty quick, like in our little group chat to like,
oh my god, this is coming.
This is coming out, and then GW is like,
suckers.
Yeah, and my favorite is they'll make a joke video.
Yeah. But yeah, like Blizzard, the guys at Blizzard were really good about it. Like the Warcraft guys were like, "You've never seen this before. Like, look at this brand new picture,
nudge, nudge.
Yay!" And they're like, "At least we can explain it to you now."
Yeah, right. You take advantage of the leaks. Don't.
Yeah, they made fun of it. Like they actually were personable this year.
Yeah,
which they had. They really had to be after last year, and then
everybody
again all the other stuff coming
up. I'm like,
well, and again, I understand you're trying to be cheeky, but it's like
when the crowd is mad, don't be cheeky.
The crowd is already
tense.
You can, like I could feel it watching it.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, so when is this coming to consoles?
Yeah.
Your answer should be, we weren't planning on bringing it to consoles because we are currently working on a console PC game.
That's
We just can't talk about it because it's not far enough along.
Yeah.
And it's like, or your other answer is, if it's popular enough or people request it enough, we can possibly try and move it from A to B.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's taken such a hit. It's not even out on phones, and they didn't even talk about it this year, other than to say it's still in development.
Yeah.
Like that. It was like, because people are like, "What happened to Diablo Immortal?" And it's like, it's still a thing. And they're like, "But it's still a thing."
It's still a thing.
Can you elapse? No.
But well, and that's the nice part about Blizzard too. Is like they'll just be like, okay, no one wants this. But we'll still put it there for the person who wants it, but we're not gonna like.
Well, they used to just cancel games, period.
Yeah.
But now that Activision's part of that,
they
can't just do that.
They can't just cancel it.
Yeah,
but
it sucks.
But their heart is still there, where it's like, we'll just.
There's some people still there that actually give.
That was the tension of that in that room, was the fact that everyone just immediately didn't want it then.
Yeah. And it's like, and again, your answer is,
but they were trying to sell it still.
Well, it's like we're trying to diversify. Yeah. Like, guys, this is just it's a different Diablo game, and it's on a different platform. We're trying something new, and it's like, again, and at that point, as a person working on the Diablo team, drop the fact of like,
then that's where you tease them. Yeah,
and it's like, guys, we do have Diablo 4 going, or like we do have another PC.
This isn't going to be on console because there is something
coming that we can't talk about. Like, period. Like, that's it. You don't have to elaborate. You don't have to go into a...
Do you have a phone? Play on your phone, you idiots.
So, yes, I think they all went through some kind of training this year, because everybody came out pretty...
Customer service training.
Yeah. And it's like, now for this person, even when they were explaining how the new dungeon worked, it's like he had pictographs on his thing going like, let's say blah, blah, blah is going to meet me in the maw.
Yeah.
And I'm running through the maw, and I see this elite, and I'm like, I can take one elite on, and I get killed. I should have brought Jeremy with me. Like, all these pictures keep showing up. Like, it's like, okay, you guys are having fun with this.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. There was definitely no phones, and yes, that's why the questions were hand in first, so that they didn't get into that faux pas of like, don't you people have computers? You're playing Blizzard games. You should own computers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's their platform.
Yeah. So, either way, that's the news. We went on a little bit longer, but that's cool. We will be back with the post-credit show talking about games we played, movies we watched, and other sort of nerd stuff we've done. Join us in 5 minutes while we recombobulate the hamsters. Like and subscribe, and go to barrelrollnews.com for more. Bye.
Bye.